Hello, welcome to my review of the Schwinn Airdyne assault bike. That is one of the 3 cardio pieces of equipment I have in my home gym. This is, in my opinion, the absolute best of the 3 that I have, and I'll explain why as I go throughout this video. Taking a look at the bike at the bottom, first of all, it is attached to the floor by these hand adjustable threads that are very easy to make the bike level. I do have a protective mat underneath that prevents the bike from sliding because of my wooden floor, but if you had carpeted flooring you might not need that. The pedals are metal and do have foot clips to them that are adjustable to help keep your feet tight in place. Pretty standard and straightforward. It does have additional foot pedals here, which, well, aren't really pedals, but I'll explain how these will work shortly. They're basically if you want to have only an upper body workout. Now this bike is an air bike, and its resistance is provided by this big huge metal fan, which does make a little bit of noise, and I will demonstrate that later in this video. It also creates a little bit of air, which is why I've got this wee shield which prevents some of the air getting in, although I do like a little breeze. Pretty standard seat fitment, universal fitment, so if you have your own bike seat, if you're an outdoor cyclist, you can take your seat in and use your outdoor bike seat on the Airdyne itself. I stuck with a standard seat, which is quite big, but does a job for me. I've got no complaints with it. So these footrests are basically attached to the handle, which allow you to put your feet up on the front and get only an upper body workout from this by using just your arms to drive the handles back and forth. A few different positions you can hold the rubber coated handles from. This is extremely difficult to maintain a workout that's just upper body on this bike, so you won't find me using that too often, but the option is there. Good positioned drinks holder, not the most deep drinks holder in the world, so if you do have a big water bottle, it might be teetering on the edge of falling out. Mine is okay. It's a litre sized bottle and it fits about halfway down, so I can get away with that, not too bad. A wee slot above there, which I appreciate is not the easiest to see here, for your iPhone or whatever it is you may have your music coming from. And then onto the display itself. Now this is my only negative, is the display is not very bright. So if you're using this in a pretty dark room, like your garage for example, it's not the easiest to see. And it's also not that loud, or compared to the noise of the bike, it's not that loud if you're doing an interval session, for example. It does have a host of different programs on it. Personally, I prefer the custom interval, where you can just pick your time that you want to sprint for and the time that you want to have as your recovery, fully adjustable to whatever time you like, up to 2 minutes. And above that we have the dial, which gives you feedback about your calorie burn here down the outside, and as well as your revolutions per minute, and your, what else have we got again here? You've got your calorie burn, your watts, your RPM, and your speed. I tend to stick with just looking at the calories though, and judge my workout based off the estimated calories that you're burning. In terms of the bike working, here's a couple of clips of me using the bike. It is an extremely solid, sturdy piece of equipment, this. It is fully commercial rated, which means you could find this in a gym, and I honestly feel like you could take a truck to this and it wouldn't damage it. The seat's quite easy to adjust, as you can see me doing here. And then I'll let you listen here for how loud the fan can get. So as you can hear, there's a little bit of noise to that, but it's not deafening. It just tends to drown out the pretty shallow beep that you get from the buzzer when it's counting down your intervals. Another really big selling point of this for me was how efficient it is for space. It's only 40 centimeters wide, which is pretty much 2 of my feet, and it is 141 centimeters in length. So in terms of floor space, it takes up next to nothing. And as I've said, it is such a solid, robust piece of equipment that you can get one hell of a workout from because of the way that the resistance works on this bike. The faster you go, the faster the fan is going to try and spin, which then creates more resistance from it, and so the harder it will be to keep the bike going. That caters for all levels of fitness really well, because even if you are extremely fit, you will be able to get challenged based on your level of strength and fitness from this bike, trying to pedal as fast as you can, and then the bike feeding back to you off of that resistance that's created from the fan. Finally, I do not represent Schwinn in any way, but I do have an Amazon affiliate link to this bike in the description, so if you're considering buying it, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider doing so through the link in the description box, as I'll gain a little bit of money from that, but the bike won't cost you anything extra. Thank you. Hello, welcome to my review of the Schwinn Airdyne assault bike. That is one of the 3 cardio pieces of equipment I have in my home gym. This is, in my opinion, the absolute best of the 3 that I have, and I'll explain why as I go throughout this video. Taking a look at the bike at the bottom, first of all, it is attached to the floor by these hand adjustable threads that are very easy to make the bike level. I do have a protective mat underneath that prevents the bike from sliding because of my wooden floor, but if you had carpeted flooring you might not